And welcome back here to the World Cup 2019 for the Federation of International Touch being held here in Malaysia. And we're now ready to restart play after a slight pause to the heat. And we've got Japan-England here, Scott.
Yeah, really looking forward to this Women's Open match. And as you mentioned, Dean, we did have a slight pause there. The heat getting a little bit unbearable out here in Putrajaya. We're pushing towards the high 40s was the reading out on the field, which caused the play to stop. But the temperature has dropped down to a suitable playing condition. And really looking forward to this match between England and Japan. England are going into this one undefeated. They sit second in the pool at the moment. Australia sitting on top on for and against, and Japan, they are third. They are right behind England. They've only had one loss themselves, so it's going to make for a really entertaining match.
Yeah, important match in the context of the competition, this one between Japan and England. Both teams have had a long preparation leading into the World Cup. Both teams travelling to Australia to play in different tournaments. The English ladies toured Australia in December last year to play in the New South Wales State Cup, and the Japanese ladies attended the Australian National Championships at Coffs Harbour earlier this year.
I'm pretty interested with how England are actually standing on the field at the moment. You could throw a blanket over them. Geez, if I was the coach of Japan, what do you reckon, Dean? I'd be saying to shift the ball from the tap straight away.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple of England teams play this real compressed defence. I wouldn't say that I'm a fan of it being that compressed, but I do understand, and a quick shift can often scramble the defensive line and defeat the purpose of having your line compressed. So we'll see how Japan undertakes this. The coach Toro, who often comes to Australia and has a lot of interaction with Australian coaches, we'll see what he does. But it's Japan who'll open up the proceedings here, and they drive now into the English line. Here they go to play the left-hand side with a sweep. The ball's in the hands. They got through the gap, and there was a really well run. And that was Yakamata, who is nearly through the hole there. And she's with the ball again. They've given it off to Masaki. In comes Nakamata around on the wrap. Sorry, that wasn't Nakamata. That was Kurashi. And they dive through, but no touchdown there, but an impressive start.
Yeah, really nice there from Japan, and I almost thought that they might have taken advantage of that compressed defence from England. As we said, they hit the link ball instead of going long, but they completed their set, but it was a nice start there from the Japanese team.
England trying to go direct here as they've used 4 touches. They're now into the Japanese half. They're held up there at the roll ball. They take off from half. That's Hogg trying to, she gets a long ball out, but well read by Japan. But not a bad set from England either, getting good position.
Yeah, nice start there from the English as well, and these really extremely hot conditions. I think the real focus for both sides will be holding on to the football and just completing sets of 6 at the moment.
And there's an opportunity for Japan. Nearly gets on the outside of a wing defender there. And that was the number 1, Masaki, who nearly got through. Ball through the hands now, and that's in the hands of Emai. Emai with the ball again. She spent time in Australia playing for the Eastern Suburbs Club. And she's just bringing the defence back. They're trying to attract the defender up. They get to the link, and middle link, and there she goes with an inside play. Really well set up from Japan, and they open the scoring, and that's a popular touchdown.
Well, listen to the crowd go up. We've got a massive contingent of Japanese fans in front of us, but that was a beautiful executed touchdown to get the opening one on the board for the Japanese. Nice little set piece, popped it back on the inside. The defence for England, they opened up, and it's the first touchdown for Japan.
So 1-0 to Japan. A nice little inside ball then from Masuki Amai. And England now, they're going to see if they can hit back. They drive deep into the territory in the hands of Hudson. Out of half, Hudson goes again. She's come back to the left. She throws the dummy, but well caught there. And that was Emily Crow, who was an opportunity to score. Crow with the ball in her hands now. She fades across the field. Looks to bring the English attack back to the left-hand side of the field. And Hudson caught there. And that's the 5th and last touch. The ball in the hands of Goddard. She floats across. She brings Crow back on the switch. The referee's called the touch was made. And that'll be a changeover. Japan deep in their own territory.
Yeah, not a bad way to finish the set off there for England. They had the dead play, had to come back, but it was a nice deep switch. Lucky to actually get away with not getting a touch and pass penalty because they did carry on with the play. Roll ball is the call, and they carry on in Japan. They're over the halfway line now.
And that was Kamashida who comes through. She's with the ball again. She drives deep into the top. Out of half goes the one Masaki, and she's through, but the touch is made. Very good touch there made by Emily Crow. And Japan lead 1-0.
Yeah, the crowd's up in arms here. I think I might have supported them in the call. Emily Crow got a little bit tight in trying to chase that one down. The crowd here, they were looking for the offside penalty. The referees were happy with it, and England are coming through the middle of the field right now.
Well, both teams have realised the importance of this match, and they've started with a real intensity. As now England take off, and there's another opportunity out there for Rona Roper. She's got through the line, and she's given the pass off to Cormac. The referees checking with each other. He's ruled 6 touches there. Rona Roper showing great speed out of the half to find Cormac there, but the Japanese defence equal to the task.
Yeah, good turn of foot there from Roper. Just put the foot down on the accelerator and progressed through. But big shout out there to Kuriyashi, who made the diving effort. Big touch that had to be made to stop that try from England.
Japan, they've driven the ball their box. There's Imai in play again. She's got the ball out of half, and that's back to Aogi. Imai out of half this time. She dummies to the right, but the referee said the roller ball wasn't square. But again, the Japanese team, very impressive.
Yeah, put that one down to the touch that was made from the England number 5, Sophia Luxton. Got herself into a really good body position, slowed that ruck down, and it was a turnover. And the Japanese side, they hand the ball back to England.
Both teams playing this game at very good pace, and that's in the hands of Pillman. She gives it back now. Pillman with the ball. Hogg at half. Hogg takes off from half to the right-hand side of the field. Dummies there, comes back to Pillman. Pillman gives the ball off to Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson caught there on the last. Not aware that was the last. She'll roll the ball here to bring it back. The last touch for England. A long ball out there to Pillman. She brings Hogg back to the left-hand side of the field and showing good pace. They've run that play a few times, but Japan seemingly up to the task.
Yeah, nice response in defence there from Japan as well. We made mention of the touch that was made in the previous set from England, but I think it was a Mai again for the Japanese side on touch 4, the crucial touch, made a real good contact and took the sting out of the England attack.
Here go Japan again, a little bit lateral that time, but very good pace. The ball's in the hands of Endo. She dumps the ball, they come back to the right-hand side of the field, a long pass, it hits the English defender in the way, and that's really good defence there from England.
Yeah, they did well to hold out there, the English side. Just couldn't get that final pass execution. If that came off, there might have been a chance to get on the outside. It was a nice line run from the Japanese winger as well.
England now working the way off their own line through Pillman. They shift the ball now to Hogg. She's caught about 10 short of her own 10-metre line. That's good defence from Japan there, pressing up here, trying to hold England in their own half. The ball's in the hands of Crow. Crow dummies back on the inside, drives into the Japanese half now. And there's Hudson with the ball. She takes off. She looks to bring Crow back to the left, but the referee's going to penalise that. And there's a penalty for offside. So she's ruled the touch had been made, but the Japanese defence was offside.
Yeah, nice roll into the line there. It's stemming off the back of Emily Crow. She's looked like a bit of a live wire for this English side. Let's keep an eye on her in on this set of 6 for England.
There's Hudson with the ball. She's back with it now. She goes back to the right-hand side of the field. She releases the ball to Sykes. Sykes caught there short. That's in the hands of Hudson. She releases to Crow. Crow drives into the Japanese defence. They give the ball off there to Goddard. Goddard looks to pick up Hudson back around on the wrap, and the ball pass goes to ground, and that's a relief for Japan.
Yeah, just couldn't get the execution right on that wraparound play. Probably just needed to hold on to the ball, progress forward with a couple of extra steps to get herself set before throwing that ball. The ball goes to ground, and Japan here really doing the hard yards to get out of their end of the field.
Yeah, they've struggled in this set. There was a little no-look pass there from Endo, but here's the star of the Japanese side so far. Anyway, and she releases there from half, and that's the 2. Kurashiki, and she gets a long pass out. Japan score. The referee must have ruled that the defence was not onside. And now Japan 2 touchdowns to 0.
Yeah, Emily Crow just getting caught out in defence there. The speed coming through from the acting half run, just couldn't match it in the foot race. And straight through from half, the referee says play on, and they finish it off in the corner. That's a really nice touchdown from Japan, number 2 for them.
England now looking to get back into this tight tussle. Cormac with the ball. She gets it down in front of Luxton. Luxton back off there to Rona Roper. It's in their hands now. They come around. Rona Roper with the ball on the sweeper play. She drops it back inside to Luxon. And just drops the ball, trying to catch the Japanese defence off guard, trying to shoot out from half.
Yeah, they just can't get the final execution right at the moment when they're getting down this end of the field, England. And the Japanese side, I think they've got them rattled early on in this stage. The pace has been really impressive. The heat's not slowing them down. Let's see if they can continue on.
And there's Japan, and that was Masaki. And there in the ball is Endo. Masaki out of half. She comes to the right-hand side of the field. She throws the ball, and that's another touchdown. And this time to Yamagata. And at the moment, the Japanese team are rolling right over the top of England.
Yeah, they need to look at their defensive tactics here as the Japanese side are rolling into that 5-metre zone. They're actually trying to slow the ruck down. They're better off just to get their hand in the touch and try to push off and cover their corner. They're rolling right through them and they're getting flat-footed England in defence.
Japan leading 3-0 in this crucial game in the women's division. England now looking to recalibrate in some respects and try and get back into this game as they drive in with Sykes. Sykes with the ball again. It's Pillman at half. As she picks up Hudson. Hudson throws the block play around the back to Sykes, but the Japanese defence read that very well. Oh, well held there by Pillman. Hudson. Hudson with the ball out of half. She goes back to the left-hand side of the field. They play a similar style there. Trying to bring Sykes back on the inside pass, but Japan read that and had the defensive position.
Yeah, really positive sides for the Japanese in terms of defence as well. They're turning it on in attack, but they haven't been able to crack the Japanese defence so far, England. This is going to help, though. They've come up with an error coming out of their end of the field.
The first time that Japan haven't completed their set, and what a bonus there, the first 10-minute quarter. And we are playing quarters here because of the extreme heat currently here in Malaysia. And they weren't punished on that, although they will have to defend a set of 6 on their own line when they come back.
Yeah, so they'll refocus again in defence, the Japanese, but they shell-shocked the England side so far in this match. They haven't let the heat make any effect on them at all. They come out all guns blazing. It's all Japan so far here in this match between Japan and England.
And we're back now live here and ready to recommence. England with the ball. They're going to have 6 touches here. A very good position to start their set from. And there's Hogg. She releases the ball. They shift it out there to Pillman. She's been key to England so far. And that was Cuthbertson as well. Cuthbertson at half. Gives the ball back to Pillman. Here goes Hogg sweeping around the right-hand side of the field. She's trying to catch Japan out. Dumps it back inside. There to Cuthbertson, but they slow the play down. Hogg at half. She goes long. Was looking to go long. But that time, the play comes to an end. Japan now looking to move it out of their half. They want to complete their set and give the ball back to England deep in their own territory. Nice little play back inside, although the ball nearly dropped short. Here goes Japan. It's in the hands of Nakayama. And back inside now to Aogi. Here's the 6 this time, Yamagata. Yamagata at half. She gives it to Masasaki. She dumps the ball off to her left. She takes off from half there, coming back this side. Steps around the player. She's gone back to the left-hand side of the field. Throws the dummy. Gets the pass away. But unfortunately, Nakayama just wasn't in that hole that she created. But the bonus here, they've picked up a penalty.
Oh, the speed of Masaki is worrying this England defence. Just a nice little bit of individual brilliance there. Almost cracks through. Just couldn't get that connecting pass up, but they've got 6 more touches.
Here goes the Japanese again. They go through the hands there from a little quickie play. That was Kishi involved in that. I'll bring the ball back. Masaki at half. She's given the ball off to Yamagata. Yamagata off to, draws it back. That goes around with Kishi on the sweep. Here she steps on that. She saw great footwork. A great footwork there by number Shoko Kishi. Stood the defender up, got off her right and found the hole for a 4-0 lead.
Well, summed that up just perfectly. That was Kishi. Now the player was offside. She straightened up her run, ran straight at her, and as she was trying to turn, just came straight off the right foot. Bang, it slides in underneath. That was a really good try there.
Japan really well in control here. England need to hit back now. The ball's in the hands of Gregory, and now it's in with Rona Roper. She's been strong. Around comes Gregory. She's hopping and skipping, trying to beat on the defence. She turns it back inside in the hands of Rona Roper. She drives in. Gregory at half. She takes off to the right-hand side of the field, but gets the pass away. The Japanese defence is very solid. Takes off again, Gregory, but still nothing happening. And the Japanese defence holds solid. They're coming now deep from in their own territory, Japan. They'll look to move it towards their sub-box to get fresh legs on. Good skills being shown by the Japanese ladies. They drive forward. You'll notice now that on comes the substitutions. They'll continue to try and get their drive, although there's no acting half there. The coaching staff won't be overly happy with that. That's off the mark, but the referee's allowed to play on. Kishi get the ball in their hands, Kishi, and that's 6 touches. And that was a pretty untidy set from Japan.
Yeah, they wouldn't be happy with that one. They've given the ball over to England in really good position. That's touch 1, and they've just rolled over the halfway line. They've got substitutions coming onto the field now.
And there in the ball, that's Crow. She's been a live wire for England. Out of half, they go back and they give the ball back to Crow. She drives in again. And Hudson looks to bring Crow back in. She gets through the line and she's found Crow, and that's a touchdown to England. A little dummy straight through the line, and Crow found herself in space for England to get on the board.
Yeah, summed that up really nicely. Just had a little bit of a look at what the defence was doing there. Held off, showed that dummy, and that was good support play from Madison Crow. We have kept an eye on her, or Crow I should say, we've kept an eye on her. She has looked like the most likely for the England team and gets her opening touchdown of the match.
Kamishita drives the ball forward for Japan. In the 6, and there is Masaki. Masaki at half. She's been instrumental. She gives it to Kurashaya with a great long ball out. Oh! Kurashishi, a great long ball out to Kanabi, but not able to take the pass that time. Kanabi, and a let off for England.
Yeah, Kanabi just needed to get the hands onto that ball and try and get it down. But again, the setup work is really nice for Japan. They're straightening up their point of attack, and they're coming back off the right foot and sending it back out.
Here's an opportunity. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Toro brings back Imai. And here she comes now, the number 10. Keep an eye on her. She's been a star for Japan so far. Here's the roll ball. The ball is hands in Imai's hands. She dishes off to her left. They send Kurashaya around to the left-hand side of the field on the sweep. Nothing happening. Well defended by England. Through their hands now is Imai. She goes the long ball. A great long ball. And a great touchdown to Tanaka. And that came off a long ball there from Imai out to Tanaka. The referees have gone all clear. And Japan, 5 touchdowns to 1.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the way that the Japanese side attacked the line. That was a really nice quick ball just straight from the ruck. Got the England side on the back foot. They just couldn't recover, but the ball, the left to right in the end, was a perfect one. Hit the swinger on the chest. They put it down. Another touchdown for Japan.
Imai really showing the advantage of those years she spent in Australia playing with the Eastern Suburbs Club in Sydney. And now England looking to get back into this game. They need something to happen quickly. And here's Rona Roper. She's trying to spark something. She dishes off the ball. She's out half now. Rona Roper with the ball again. She gives it off to Cormack. She brings it back inside. Here goes Rona Roper around on the sweep to the right hand side of the field. She goes long ball out there to the wing. And well defended by Japan. A penalty though for offside. So they'll bring it back. They'll have a set of 6 here. So Cormack gives it off to Luxton. Luxton brings Cormack back. Rona Roper goes around to the sweep to the right. Back inside to Luxton. Good hands there. She nearly put it down. She has a chance to score. The referee's called the defence offside. She's going to award that.
Yeah, protesting that decision, the Japanese players, but it looked like it was the right one from the referees. 2 sets in a row, the Japanese team were caught offside. They gave the penalty away in the previous set, and the referee calling advantage played there, and well taken from the England team.
A bit of cloud cover coming over, and I think the players will appreciate that. As now Japan, Masaki, and she's given the ball off now to Kurashai. They're driving down here. They look to go around on the sweep. And then here they come back to the other side. They play the inside, dink play again. They scored like that first, but their correct decision there, forward pass. But that was pretty well set up by Kamishita. And they scored off that in the first play of the game, Scott.
Yeah, just overran it on that occasion, so the support player back on the inside was actually ahead of the ball player. It was always going to go forward, and the referees called that one correctly.
England now, they've got the ball over towards their box. They're bringing fresh players on. I'll be looking, and it's Clark. She's given a long ball. Sorry, Crow. She gets out of the Cuthbertson. She got it back inside the hog. Cuthbertson with the ball now. She gets on the outside of the player. She releases a winger. And ball gone the ground.
Yeah, that was more enterprising there for England. They were on the back foot in the early stages of that set. The ball over the top from Crow put them under a little bit of pressure, but they shifted it back out to this left-hand side and almost created something down the sideline.
Japan now through Nakayama. The ball in the hand of Aogi. There's a forward pass from Imai, but the referees have let it go. Imai out of half. She's taken off to the left-hand side. And Crow was offside. The referee calls play on. Looking to get the pass away. It'll be interesting. Well, you know what? I think the referee should have come back and give a penalty there to Japan, because Crow was offside and did make the touch and get in Imai's way. I probably felt hard done by there, Japan.
Yeah, we've called Crow a few times in attack, but that's twice now that she's been caught out in defence as the Japanese side are rolling into the line. She's got to get better contact and try to cover a corner and get into a better defensive position.
England now with the ball. And Cormack there. Here's Rona Roper. She's been strong. Gets it back to Cormack. Rona Roper after half. Interchange with Cormack. Cormack gets it down again, and that's the 6th touch. A little bit untidy from England. And now Japan will take over in good field position. They drive the ball forward, dummy to the wing. They get it down, and here they go into the English half. And that was Aogi. And the ball in the hands of Masaki. Masaki gets it down in front of Owagi. Back in the hands now of Endo. Masaki out of half, gives it back inside. And they're looking dangerous every time they get down this end of the field. Masaki takes off to the right. She gives the ball there in the hands of Yamagata, but well defended by England, and that set comes to an end.
Yeah, Rona Roper making 2 big touches there in the previous one to shut down that play as they were rolling into the 5th. They didn't really have too many options on the end of it. She shuts it down. There's a bit of contact starting to creep its way into this match.
Rona Roper drives it forward. There's a penalty right on half-time. It'll be interesting to see what England tend to do here. Oh, well, she's tapped the ball. The girl was in front of her, but the referees have let it play on. Long ball back out here in the hands of Luxton. Luxton trying to get on the outside of the player. But it comes to an end, and an impressive first half with Japan leading 5 touchdowns to 2.
Yeah, England did a decent job there to fight back in that second quarter, but it's still all the Japanese side. Mentioned a few times, they probably put a focus on their goal line defence here, England, but they've got to try to stop that roll on from the Japanese side as well. They're just making meters too easy at the moment.
So at half-time, we've got in a very important Women's Open pool game. Japanese ladies are leading England 5 touchdowns to 2. We'll be back shortly. Well, welcome back here to the second half of this Women's Open pool match between England and Japan, being shown to you live streamed on the BBC, and England with it all to do. Scott.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough second half for them if they're going to try to get themselves back into this match. It was pretty much all Japan on both sides of the field. They were really good in attack, but their defence was really strong as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the messages coming out of the England coaching box would have been over there at halftime.
Yes, and they'll have to have made some adjustments, the English team, that's for sure. And it'll be their tap off. We're just waiting for the hooter. And the players, as a bit of a breeze come up and some cloud cover, they'll be very happy about that. It's been very stifling hot conditions here during the day, Scott.
Yeah, extremely hot. Yeah, and you would have heard us mention at the start of the broadcast that we did have to pause for a period of time to let that heat drop. There's a bit of cloud cover now, which is good. So the games will continue, and there's plenty more to come through the BBC live stream. We've actually got the first gold medal matches coming up after this match. Men's 50s to follow this Women's Open match.
And here go England now. The ball's in the hands of Cormac. Now back to Goddard. And they'll send, here goes the English girls. Good Gregory there. Well, there, Pillman's caught in the ball. It's in the hands of Hudson. Back to Pillman. Pillman brings Goddard into the half. In there, the Hudson. Hudson's going through the gap through. She throws a long pass. Really well caught. The referee's going to say there's a touch. That's a touchdown, and that's the start England needed.
Exactly what England wanted on their first set. I thought they might have been lucky to get away with it. Almost looked like a little bit of an obstruction play. The referees called play on. No problems with that. That's exactly how they needed to start this match. They get their third on the board.
Japan now. Tadaki, she taps off Tadaki. She's got the dangerous MI at half. And she picks up there to Kishi. Kishi gives it back to MI. MI releases and they come around on the sweep, but that's shut down there by England. There's Kishi dummies, and she's been dangerous with her footwork. Kishi very dangerous with that footwork close to the line. Tadaki at half. Back to Kishi. Kishi's got there's MI with the ball now. Kishi at half. Around there, Tadaki. She dives through a great touchdown there, Tadaki. And Japan straight back in England.
Yeah, probably had a couple of options there to create that touchdown. It was beautiful speed coming onto that sweeper play. The space presented itself straight in front of the Japanese try scorer. And even if there was some outside-in defensive pressure from England, they had options on the outside as well, but perfectly summed up. Nice touchdown. Good response from Japan.
Yeah, the English coaching team would have been happy with their attacking start, but not their defensive start. England now.
Dropped
the ball, and that's not the start. That last touchdown might have rattled them. They're down but 6 touchdowns to 3. And here go Japan in front of a very vocal Japanese support crew right in front of us here today. And Japan, they sweep around through Kirishai. He gives the ball to Makasaki. And then off the ball to Endo. Endo dummies through. That's Masasaki dummies through. Gives it off there. Endo, what's the referee going to... The referee's calling touch. And ball's in the hands of Endo. Here she gives it off to Kirishai. Kirishai goes long out wide to the winger. And there was a diving Kanabi. The referees are going to have a discussion here whether the touch was made or not. They're discussing whether the touch was made or not. I think they're going to go with the touchdown. And it is. And Kanabi has scored. And they lead 7 touchdowns to 3.
Well, great play again from Japan. They had a crack on the other side of the field, almost got a touchdown. They revert back to this left-hand side. Nice ball movement. They dive in the corner. They get the ball down before the England winger could make the touch, and it's all Japan in this match now.
Well, that really might have taken the wind out of the English sails. They opened up with a great touchdown, but in their first 2 possessions of this half, Japan have scored. England now with the ball in the hands of Goddard. She drives in. They're looking for Hudson. Hudson steps back. She goes long up to the left-hand side of the field. Well taken by Sykes. Sykes with the ball again. She's going for the line. But good defence from Japan. The Japanese crowd, they're cheering everything, attack and defence. So there's Sykes. She brings the ball back into play. Oh, and there's a mistake there. takes the pressure off Japan.
Yeah, really took the pressure off. They actually got a penalty over there on the left-hand side of the field, so that was their first touch. They turned the ball over, and Japan, they're just going to come out of their end of the field. They've been doing a really good job of that so far in this match, and they roll forward again.
And that's Aogi. She rolls the ball in front of Endo, but there's a penalty here. And Endo doing some traffic directing, telling the players where she wants them to go. That's Endo with the ball. She's got it again. She's got Yamagata outside. Yamagata goes to half. She comes around the wrap. Yamagata gets the ball. She throws a long ball back out. And once again, that's Kanabe. Kanabe score again. And the Japanese girls are as excited as their fans.
They can't be stopped at the moment. Everything that they run down that end of the field, the England defence has zero answers for. This Japanese juggernaut is just continuing to roll down the field. England, I don't know if they in any way have been able to stop this Japanese side at the moment.
If we make that, they're leading 8 touchdowns to 3, and they are well and truly in control of this game. England really need to show some spirit here and work back into the game. And Rona Roper and Luxton now with the ball. She picks up Rona Roper on the sweep. There's Rona Roper now with the ball. She tries to get on the outside, throws the cutout pass, but really well defended by the Japanese ladies, and that was Drutt there. Rona Roper with the ball. She's holding the ball, trying to bring the defence up. She goes to half and gets around on the wrap, and that's that's Cuthbertson there who had the ball to Rona Roper. They're keeping it alive, England. But no, there's a penalty there for a late pass, and that was Crow who tried to keep it alive.
Yeah, interesting to see Crow actually defending out there on the left-hand side now, so I'm not too sure if some of those defensive lapses might have been identified from the coaching staff. So she's headed back out to the left, but again, no answers for the English side, but the referee has picked something up. They're going to change possession. This might be their chance.
Yeah, it's definitely a penalty, a correct decision there by the referees. Over the mark was the roll ball. And now England really need to get something started as Cuthbertson drives forward. Drutt then gives it back to Cuthbertson. They brought Hogg on. She was dangerous in the first half. There she is with the ball. Cuthbertson goes to half. Releases the long pass. They're slowing it again. Hogg around on the sweep. Back to Cuthbertson. She gives the ball out to Pillman. And Japan equal to the task. Pillman with the ball. The Japanese defence very solid. Working as a unit. Hogg with the ball. Tries to step left and right. Nothing happening at the moment for England. They don't seem to have any answers to the Japanese defence. But there's a penalty. Offside was the call from the referee.
Yeah, the referee just pointing it to the mark now. They've got to go England here if they want to be any chance of trying to get back into this match. They need a touchdown to get some form of momentum.
Here go the English ladies now in the hands of Davis Bevan. She hands it off there to McCormack. There's Sykes with the ball. Back to, there's Sykes driving in. They send Hogg around. They come back to the opposite side of the field, trying to run that same inside play. And again, that's another penalty for Japan. They're going to have to be careful here. They could have someone put in the bin. There's Hogg on their left-hand side of the field, trying to get through the play. But there's MI there for Japan. Holds it down. Hogg with the ball. Gets the pass out. Oh, no, she's held it. Pillman's got the ball now. They back it to Hogg, and they're sending Sykes around on the sweep. And there's another penalty. That's 3 infringements in a row. Surprising the referees didn't take any action against Japan. Pillman with the ball. She gets it down for Hogg, and they send Sykes around on the sweep. But Japan up to the task. There's Hogg. Hands it off to Sykes. Sykes bringing to Pillman. She releases to Hogg. She's in the half. She takes off from half. She's looking back. There's really nothing happening in the acting half court, and that wasn't a great set.
Yeah, they really weren't asking too many questions on that occasion. Again, England, they're playing a little bit too laterally, going from side to side, just hoping that they can find some sort of hole within the Japanese defence, but there's nothing there for them at the moment.
And here goes Japan through the hands of Masaki. Masaki driving in. She'll look to release Endo. Endo at half. Here she gives it back to Masaka. Masaki gives it there. Endo takes off from half. There's that good footwork. And the outside, the ball's gone to the ground. One thing I have picked up, Scott, is that the speed of play, especially on the drives of Japan, has started to slow.
Yeah, you can't blame them for that. They've had the intensity of which they played this match from the opening whistle has been really impressive. As England, again, they're struggling to get out of their end of the field, but yeah, you can't blame the Japanese side for showing signs of fatigue.
And here's England now with the ball, and that's Luxton. Luxton trying to pick up Hudson there, but unfortunately a turnover, and you can't blame the English girls. They've got to chase the game. They've got to chance their hand. They're down 8-3 on the scoreboard, we believe. And here go the Japanese girls again, this time through Kurashai. She shows a good set of speed there. Nearly gets on the outside of Norburn, but a great chase from Norburn. Wheels it back in. Coach Toro from Japan, he's brought his guns back out. And there's one of them now, MI with the ball. Gives the pass off to Masaki. Back to MI. Oh, she's dropped the ball. No, the referee said it was knocked out of her hands accidentally, so there'll be no repeat set. MI with the ball again. She's going to work with Masaki. There's a penalty here for not moving forward. Masaki with the ball. MI at half. She's picked up Masaki. They're going to try and work over the middle defenders here. They bring the girl up that they want. And there's the dangerous Koshi around on the sweep. Touch is made, but that's the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, Drew making a big touch there right on the third quarter hooter, but that was a super impressive quarter from Japan. They may have won the match right there through that quarter. It's going to be a big ask for England to try to get even close to the Japanese side. They've only got 10 minutes left to do it.
Yeah, England challenged them right from the tap off, the scoring in the corner, but then Japan went bang, 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 and I'm with you, Scott. I think they've wrapped it up in that quarter. We'll be back shortly to fin the final quarter of this Women's Open game. We're back live here through the BBC, and we're about to commence the fourth quarter here. The games are usually played in halves, but because of the extreme heat being experienced here in Malaysia, the tournament organisers have played it into quarters. And when you go to the quarters, play recommences from where it ended. And now Japan currently leading 8 touchdowns to 3, and there's a penalty there, not square. The referees have pulled that up. It'll be a change of possession, not square. And the Japanese ladies, 10 minutes to play in this important fixture against England. And they've got control of the game, 8 touchdowns to 3. England now working it off their line. There's Hogg. She's been very good for the English girls. And this is a better drive from England. And that time it was Luxton who drives the ball down. And this time Cormack. This is far better from the English girls, playing with intensity and speed through the hands of Hogg, but they're just not able to hold it out there. And that was unfortunate for Norburn. She's been very strong defensively, but just put that one down.
They didn't get the touchdown in the end, but that was probably one of their best sets of the match. They just tucked it under the wing, just rucking straight through the middle. It got them down to the other end of the field. They've got to do more of that. This is going to help Japan have turned the ball over here.
Yes, the Japanese ladies won't be happy about that. Coach Toro, he's having a couple of things to say to his girls about that last drop of possession. There's Hogg. She's looking, it's just holding the play up, bringing some fresh players on. And here comes, I'm pretty sure that's young Crow. She's very lateral there. Rona Roper caught with the ball. And there's Crow with the ball there now. Out they come. They drop the ball back inside, but it's just too lateral and not direct enough, and that's what's caused that error.
Yeah, they just put each other under a lot of pressure there. They just weren't going forward again. Those inside balls and the switch ball just allowed the Japanese defence to just keep progressing forward and putting pressure onto England.
Imai now, she's at half. She gives the ball back to Akibi. There's Imai there, she's working hard. She wants to work with Koshi, but the English defence that time through Crow was up to the task. England now working it off their own line. They drive forward, a bit of a body clash there, but the referees have said we're not going to have that. So a penalty against Imai, too heavy in the touch. And that'll piggyback England down the field. Hudson with the ball. There's Rona Roper, she's had a good game. And now Crow, been very dangerous, light-footed. Probably tries a little bit too hard on occasions. Crow out of the half. Back to Rona Roper, Crow and Hudson there to back into Crow. Well set up, but the Japanese defence read it and were able to close that attacking raid down.
Yeah, Shoko Kishi coming in from this left-hand side. She's got the ball right now, so transitions from defence into attack, but that was a really nice read defensively, and again, their defence continues to be strong, the Japanese team.
Yeah, staying in control of the game, the Japanese. That's Endo trying to drive forward. And there's Masaki. Masaki driving it forward, gives it back to Endo. Endo drives deep into the line now. And Masaki comes out of half, goes back to off her right foot, steps around. That's good play. Went off her right, then off her left. And opportunity lost there for Japan.
Yeah, Susanna Hudson did a really good job just to maintain her line in defence. She didn't deviate from that and just followed the play nicely. Got a hand out to stop that one, and a Japanese attack couldn't be pulled off with another touchdown.
With a scoreline of being down 8 touchdowns to 3, the English girls, Scott, are really going to have to throw caution to the wind, you would think.
Yeah, they've got to go at some stage. It looks like the match might be a little bit too far away from them. It's a good drive into the line now.
Here goes Cormac through the line, and the Japanese defence up to it. Yeah, they really need to start trying their hand. You can forgive it. It's an important game in the context of the competition. If they make mistakes, they make mistakes, but they're not going to win this one by being cautious. There's Japan now. And there's another error from the Japanese girls. They're caught short here. If England go quickly, that was a roll ball. Oh, there could have been a changeover there if the referee thought that the English girls had touched that ball, but they ruled no. And that was Davis Bavin with the ball. It's in the hands now of Cormac. She gives it back to Davis Bavin. Davis Bavin again with the ball. Cormac wants it to dump down. They send, and that's Goddard coming around the sweep, but she throws the long ball against the ruck. Another penalty against Japan. They've had given a lot of penalties away in their red zone.
Yeah, just not moving forward off the line. They're the Japanese. This is just more seconds off the clock, and it's the chances and the opportunities for England. They're running out with those seconds being wound down.
Goddard and Sykes with a nice little inside interchange. There's Sykes, but again. And look, the pass went to ground, but you can't blame them. They've got to try something. They've got to get the scoreboard clicking over to try and chase down this lead that Japan have.
Yeah, good work there from England. They're trying. They are really searching to try and get another touchdown. As you mentioned earlier, Dean, this is a massive game in the context of this division. Japan actually sit underneath England on the ladder at the moment. This will be the first loss for the English side.
And they still have to face the all-powerful Australian team to England. And there's a good ball through. Well read defensively from Goddard, but a very good set that time from Japan, driving the length of the field. And that was nearly Tadeki who went through there, but well read defensively from Goddard, able to shut it down. England now shifting the ball towards their sideline, trying to get to their sub-box to bring players in. There's a penalty, it could have gone the other way too. I thought the roll ball might have been off the mark, but the referee has said offside. They've given a lot of penalties away for offside, Japan. Now England driving the ball forward. There's Hogg. She gets it down in front of Hudson. Hudson gives it back to Hogg. Back inside to Hudson. Interchange between the two. Hogg's got the ball again. She drives into the defence. Hudson gives it back to her. Hogg now wants to go back. They're really not stretching the Japanese defence out this time. That was a forward pass, but the referees have let it go. Oh, the referees are going to award that. Well, I can't say that I agree with that one. There was a forward pass off the ruck, and the referees actually ruled the defender was offside, and that's why she played through.
Yeah, I probably tend to agree with Dean on that one. The pass did look forward. It actually looked like the player who rolled the ball was standing in front of the acting half as the roll ball was performed. But yeah, Japanese players had to have been called offside, advantage taken, and they finally get a touchdown on the board there, England.
So Japan leading 8 touchdowns to 4. The clock working against England at the moment, and there's that same play. Makasaki back on the inside, this time to Kanabe, and they've run that with a lot of success.
Yeah, we've seen that move quite a few times through this match, but it was really impressive that time. They actually took a lot of speed out of their play. It looked like they were just drifting across the field. They shifted back onto the inside. Great response and a really well-constructed touchdown for Japan.
Yeah, and so far in this second stanza, or the second half, every time England have been able to score, Japan have hit straight back. All to do now, England. Japan are leading 9 touchdowns to 4. And that's Davis Bevan with the ball. She's caught. They shift it there, this time to Sykes. She looks to bring Hudson into the play. Hudson, there's Crow coming around. She's been a live wire. Davis Bevan with the ball now. Back to Crow. Crow driving in. And again, the referee's finding a lot of penalties for the Japanese. I'm just wondering whether it might be a language barrier thing with the Japanese girls.
Yeah, it could be. It's one of the difficult aspects in touch football where we've got nations from all across the world. But yeah, they've definitely given a lot of penalties away for being offside or not moving forward off their end. But England, they've turned the ball over again here to Japan.
Japan now, they'll look to work it towards their substitutions and drive the ball forward. Here they go in the hands of Tanaka. She's scored more than her share of touchdowns today. There's Endo driving into the line. She's got the ball back from the half. And Kishi's looking to go from half. Here she is with the dazzling feet, Kishi. And there she goes through the line. She picks up Endo. They swing the ball wide. There's a long ball out. And that's Kanabe. Kanabe scores again. The referees have ruled touch. What are the referees ruled here? There's a discussion. The Japanese supporters in front of us are happy with the touchdown. Conversation, they're going, after a long conversation, they're going through and awarding the touchdown. And Kanabe, she scores the 10th touchdown for Japan.
Well, can't wait to watch this one on replay. That is one of the tries of the tournament. Really well constructed there for Japan. Just asking questions of this English defence consistently. They scrambled as best they could there, England, but they couldn't recover. And a really nice touchdown again for Japan. Geez, they've scored some good touchdowns during this match.
England really need to throw caution to the wind here. 4 and against could be very important in this pool. And currently with Japan leading 10 touchdowns to 4. There's a 6 touchdown advantage to Japan. England now attacking the line. There's the ball in Hogg's hands. And there was a really good line there run by Cormack, but Hogg couldn't get the ball. And they'll turn it over on the Japanese 5-metre line. And there's full time. Japan win this all-important game with England. 10 touchdowns to 4. And that was a pretty impressive game of touch, Scott.
Oh, really impressed with the Japanese side in that match. From the opening whistle where they tapped off, they showed their intention in this match against England. They were never really in the match, England. They tried their best they can to match it with the Japanese side, but we've got one eye on Japan now as they progress through this Women's Open division. That was a super impressive win there for the Japanese team.
Yeah, fantastic skills on both teams. We'll be back very soon here on the BBC, live streaming the 2019 Federation of International Touch World Cup with the first of our gold medal games. It's in the men's 50s division, Australia versus New Zealand.
Well, welcome back to Field 1 here in Putrajaya, and its excitement levels have gone to another level here. We have the first gold medal match of the 2019 World Cup, and it will be Australia taking on New Zealand in the men's 50s division. You can see both sets of supporters out on the field. They'll be creating a tunnel for the boys to run out to. And Australia and New Zealand, as mentioned, will be playing this game. Australia, they progressed through to the grand final by beating Singapore in the semi-final. It was 13-0, so a pretty comprehensive win. Much the same for New Zealand in their semi-final. They took on Ireland a little bit earlier this morning as some of the New Zealand players start making their way onto the field. So comprehensive semi-final victories for both sides. But it's going to be a different story now when these two teams come up against each other for this men's 50s match. Conditions still extremely warm here in Putrajaya. And the players will still be playing for 4 quarters in this match. The temperature still in the high 30s. So the conditions will be extremely difficult for both teams as the Australian side. They'll make their way onto the field now. And Michael King joins me in commentary for this match. And Michael, this is sort of what we've been waiting for. It's usually penciled in that Australia and New Zealand more than likely to make their way towards the finals, and that's exactly what's happened here for the men's 50s.
Yes, great way to start the afternoon with the finals, and the old foes, Australia and New Zealand, battled it out in our 50 men's grade. So these players have obviously been legends and have carried the mantle for both countries for a number of years. So it's great to see, even at this tender baby age, that they're still out there doing it.
Yeah, it is great to see, and that's one of the great aspects of our sport is some of these legends of the sport go right back to the Opens days, and now they are still playing in the men's 50s. But just having a look at the two teams, mate, New Zealand in particular, talk us through some of the players that we need to be keeping an eye out for in this men's final.
So we can't go further than the captain for New Zealand, 50 men's, James Lofiso. He's been to a number of World Cups and a very smart and intelligent ball player. So he likes to roam around the middle. Organised, great organiser. So we've got James there. We've got Peter McIntyre, another one who's played Open men's back in the day. And we've got it made up of a number of ball players. In the team, we've also got Mark Hotham, who's actually done 50 caps for the country. So just a couple of players to watch out for.
And we're just going to pause for the national anthems now of Australia and New Zealand.